Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Britton's Hangout Hour episode 141. I am here today with MagnenoAlex, or just
Okay,
Alex. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Alex is fine. It's just my handle on the YouTubes.
Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, you run a YouTube channel and an Instagram account, all that fun stuff.
You know, one new one. My old one got deleted, but that's
Oh
a
yeah, that's
the
right.
whole
Yeah,
story.
the old one got hacked.
Yeah, hacked or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw you followed
AI
me
bots
again.
are
I'm like,
dumb.
oh no, what happened?
Yeah, but I'm back. So
Yeah, no. But yeah, glad we managed to get this together.
yeah, I appreciate it. I've started blazing through. I haven't watched all of them, but I've seen a good portion of your other YouTuber ones, which has helped me find a lot more people. I can't comment on everybody's because there's so many, but I've subscribed to a lot through your Hangout
Well,
videos.
that's
So,
good. That's always good. Yeah, I always try to have a good amount of people on here.
mm,
Um, yeah, recently it's been very productive. I'll say that. Finally
yeah.
got it in order with David from Four Corners of the Page because I've been trying to get him on for a while, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm in Japan now," and I'm like, "God damn it!" So I have to get up a little
Yeah.
earlier for that one, but it's all right. David's a good guy,
He seems
so it's
like it.
worth it.
Haven't talked to him personally, but he seems
Oh
like a
well.
cool guy.
I don't know him personally, but we've had a couple conversations over Instagram,
Mm, mm.
and he's a good guy. So, yeah. But yeah, you have a YouTube channel where you talk about, well, whatever comes to mind from the sounds of it. Because I've seen some of your channel.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
a lot of
I
Legends Star Wars material, or Star Wars
yeah, that
material from
was
the Legends continuity. I know you and some other people like to talk about that, which is pretty
yeah.
cool.
I've had a kind of my YouTube's been all over the place, but pretty consistently since COVID happened. I bought all these Star Wars books because I wasn't a big fan of the sequels. Um, and I didn't get a chance to read them. Life was busy, but then we got stuck in our houses. So I thought instead of just like having all this information in my head, I'd talk into the void somewhere. So I just started making reviews of those books. And from there, I met a bunch of people. And this is now my third time going through the EU,
Mm.
but I've said everything I can possibly say. So I just kind of wanted to be a place where other people could talk about it on my podcast. So that's mostly what it's there for. People for me up enough. So,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I really like Star Wars myself, and also I'm not a fan of the sequels. Be honest, if they had just done, I'm kind of with Mike. If they had done the Thrawn trilogy as the sequel trilogy, I'd have been fine with it.
I mean, when they made it, would have been a bit difficult. But if they had
Yeah,
done it in the 90s, they would have been perfectly right around the right age for it. But that or New Jedi Order, but that's a harder task to accomplish.
yeah,
So
New Jedi Order. I mean, I don't know as much about it because I'll admit my reading of the Legends universe is a bit sporadic,
yeah, I
but
basically first time through, since I didn't like the sequels, I was like, okay, what takes place after the movies? And that's the main thing I prioritized before I moved to like the prequel stuff and everything, which I appreciate the prequels now more because of a bunch of books that are in the prequel era.
mm,
But that helped. Like, if you read Darth Plagueis, you can't watch Episode One the same way again. Like, it infinitely makes
yeah,
it
Darth
better.
Plagueis is a good one. I really like
Yeah,
that book. Um,
James Luceno is a really good author for the EU. But in terms of stuff after um, like the movies themselves, it begins with chronologically Truce at Bakura in terms of novels
mm-hmm.
by Kathy Tyers, and they kind of have these like table of contents of like the different books as you start going through the Bantam era into the Del Rey era, so you can kind of follow along with that in terms of if you're trying to go through all of it. The New Jedi Order is essentially 19 books filled to the brim with a bunch of different authors that have either never wrote for Star Wars before or had written for Star Wars before, and it was a big collaborative project to tell this epic in scope 19 book story. I don't think it needed to be 19 books. That might be a heretical take of me as a Star Wars fan with some EU circles, but I don't think it needed to be 19 books. I
Yeah,
think 13 or 14 would have been the peak of where it should have been, but it's still a really big accomplishment that they managed it.
Yeah, my friend Carlos is, I think, reading through those books right now. So, I mean, I don't have an opinion on it because I haven't read any of those. But
It's an investment for sure. But if people can get through Malazan and Wheel of Time, these books usually go around 300 pages.
that's not
I
bad.
think the longest is maybe 600, so it's
That's not
definitely
bad.
doable. Yeah, it's like still like half of Malazan, even though there's more books to it. So
Yeah, no,
I
I've
think it's
only
definitely possible.
I read. Oh man, what have I read from the? Well, I've read the Thrawn trilogy, obviously, which is probably like my favorite Star Wars thing that isn't like the Clone Wars or the original
Yeah,
movies.
that's my
So
7, 8, and 9. I'd say
yeah,
New Jedi Order is like my 10 through 15 because it's a big
yeah.
series.
Ah man, it was really sad they left Mara Jade out of the sequel movies because man, she's a great character.
Yeah, there's
Um,
talks of bringing her back. I'm like, what's the point now? We know that Luke dies and he's alone. So like, even if they get together, they have to get divorced or something. So what's even the point?
yeah,
But I always
it's
liked the idea of her because she's like, for Palpatine, if Vader's his hammer that he throws down whenever he needs like the big things done, if there's something more subtle he needs done that Vader can't do because he's not very
I was
subtle,
about to say yeah, he's
he
not
sends in Mara
subtle at
Jade, who's
all.
more of like a scalpel, which I thought was always cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to describe Vader. I'm like, yeah, he's subtlety is not something. I mean, Anakin was never subtle either, so I
No,
mean, it's not
no, it
really.
was that
Some things
way.
never change.
Yes, true.
Well, Anakin started murdering a bunch of people. That changed. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. He murders
Uh,
a lot of people.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was going through a hard time when he was Vader. Not that it excuses anything, but oh man,
No, it doesn't.
that's
But
brutal.
that's also that's the beauty of Star Wars, and it's because it's for family
Uh
of all
huh.
ages. It's sometimes you get a more pessimistic view. Like I read the Prince of Nothing series,
Mm.
very bleak. I still have to read the second series, um, but you always have this idea of redemption, and in Malazan they kind of critique that as well, in terms of does certain good actions redeem you from all the bad you've done? Does that excuse the victims that you've? No, it doesn't. But the hope in Star Wars is just like, yeah, Vader did all these terrible things, and it's not really forgivable necessarily, but it's just that in his final moments, he decided to do the right thing. And does that outweigh ultimately, in terms of his, I guess spiritual nature, his redemption? I mean, in his final moments, he chose his son over power. So I think that stands for something.
Yeah,
You know.
that's definitely true. Yeah, he finally gained good sense and chucked Palpatine down the
Yeah.
whatever that was, a
So it
shaft.
comes back in a comic book called Dark Empire,
Oh
which
yeah, I've
people
I've
made
heard.
fun of for a long time, and it's not the best thing, but they do explain themselves fairly well in that comic. But then I noticed as soon as Rise of Skywalker came out, nobody made fun of Dark Empire anymore. So
Yeah, they're just like, oh man, like
yeah,
wasn't a great idea the
somehow he
first time.
returned.
Yeah, no, that's oh god, don't get me started on that. But
Yeah,
yeah, I've read the Thrawn trilogy. I've read Darth Plagueis, which is actually really good.
yeah,
It's also really creepy as well. There's some pretty like I don't know if it's scary, but it's like there's some really like
yeah. It makes you
horror
uncomfortable.
fused moments.
Yeah, especially just like and getting to see Palpatine young.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost a sense of because it's like there's no real tragic backstory to him. Like his dad was a jerk if you read the novel,
Mm-hmm.
but he was already kind of a bad kid from the get go. Like he was never not kind of bad. He's got a just has always had like an evil inclination. Did his abusive father help? No, but he's always kind of been just kind of the Satan allegory.
Yeah, I always kind of paraphrase Rick and Morty. He's the Sithest Sith there is.
Yeah, that's another thing too with Darth Plagueis in that novel. He had all these grand plans, but he's really trusting of Palpatine, which
Yeah.
is not a very Sith thing to be. He wanted like a 50-50 partnership, which is not what Sidious had in mind. So
No, no, and don't they like adopt? Maul in that story, if I recall right.
There, so as far as I remember, some woman comes up to Palpatine because she was running away from something, and she
Mm-hmm.
just kind of gives Sidious the baby. He's like, "What do I want with this thing?" And then they just kind of
That
decide
that
to that.
sounds like something he would say. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh wait, I can train him." I guess you know. But another thing about Palpatine is he really has no loyalty. It's whatever comes up that's you know he also doesn't really follow the rule too. I don't know if you read Darth Bane, but Darth Bane really goes into the rule too
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
I know
philosophy.
the story. I haven't actually read it though. I'd like to at some point because I know it's
Yeah,
like one of the best like
yeah. I
expanded
mean, people
universe
hype it up
Star
a little
Wars
bit too
things.
much. I mean, I think it's solid. Debatable if it's better than Plagueis, but with Palpatine, I don't think he ever really cares about the rule too, because like he uses, um, all these different apprentices, but he always wants to be on top. And
Mm-hmm.
part of Bane's thing is like, no, truly, if you are better, I want you to challenge me and overtake me because the Sith will get stronger with every iteration that surpass me. But Palpatine never wants. He doesn't care if you're stronger than him. He'll find a way to take you down.
Also, he's pretty
But
damn strong as it is.
yeah, that's true. But Sidious dies, or not. Maul dies. At least if you're only watching the films.
Uh huh.
He picks up Dooku, and as soon as Anakin's like, old enough and strong enough, he goes for Anakin. And then in Episode 6, he sees Luke, and he's like, "Yo, you should join me. Kill your dad, because you're more powerful than your dad now. So let's go." It's like
Yeah,
he just keeps hopping.
yeah.
So
Sidious is not a nice guy, for one thing.
yeah. There's not really anything redeemable about him. He's evil and he enjoys it, but that's
Yeah.
kind of refreshing.
He's cackling madly while trying to electrocute Yoda.
Yeah. But since we were talking about the EU, if you ever do get to it, I think what makes New Jedi Order also really interesting is just the fact that for once it's not the Empire. For once, it's not Sith again. It is something new.
Mm-hmm.
Beings from outside the galaxy that are not affected by the Force. They don't use the Force, and you can't like force push them. You could throw things at them, but you can't actually do anything to them, which makes it a bit more challenging for the Jedi. It just makes it more interesting. They're just so alien to the Star Wars universe, which is weird because it's filled to the brim with aliens. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew the moment I saw infidel in a Star Wars book that I was in for something a little bit different because I was not expecting to see that in there. So
Oh, my cat's in here. I didn't know they'd said infidel in Star Wars. That I
they
wouldn't
did,
have
they did. The,
expected
the
that.
Vong, they hate technology and like they hate droids. They see it as blasphemy. And they also like to mutilate themselves and cut themselves, and the more cut up you are, the more attractive you are in Vong culture. They have this
Oh, isn't
thing
that
called the
the? Aren't
embrace of
those the
pain.
people that like Thrawn was trying to fend off?
Yeah, well, he tried to fend off like any outside possible threat. They were one of them, and he knew about them. But
Sorry, my cat
yeah,
opened my door, so I shut it.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I've heard of the Yusan Vong. I think is what it's called, or something like that.
Mhm. That's the respectful way. If you say Vong, you're actually pissing them off.
Oh well,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah. Like Thrawn's like, yeah, I'm gonna join this empire, so yeah, they don't try to kill me
yeah,
and my
yeah.
people.
hmm Yeah, it's interesting because the more Zahn, if you just read the Thrawn trilogy, he's a bit more sophisticated, but he is very much a villain. But
Oh,
as Zahn kept writing books about Thrawn, the more like of a sort of tragic hero he is, where he's not necessarily villainous, but he's at his most villainous in the Thrawn trilogy.
oh, for
But
sure, and he's a great
yeah,
villain.
yes. I just think it's interesting how Zahn kind of like walks back a bit on him as he writes more and more about him.
I
So
think it's refreshing that like he wasn't like a force user. He's just
yes,
this really smart, soldier basically.
that was my favorite thing about the Thrawn trilogy. He is always 10 steps ahead, and the only reason he loses is due to a logical thing of one thing he'd have no way of knowing about, which is that Leia befriended the Nogri. He had
Yeah,
no way of knowing that. that was a thing. So that one crucial detail got him his demise. If not for that, he probably would have won.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy in that trilogy.
It does. And Sabaoth, speaking of crazy, with
I also like his. I always forget his name. It's like Rawl or something. It's this weird like ape operative that he has.
yeah, those are the Nogri.
The Nogri, yeah. And he like sends him to go kill his enemies from time to time.
Yeah,
I think his
it's
name's
really cool.
Rawl. I don't remember. I don't remember at the moment.
It's something like that. I think you're right.
But yeah, it's really yeah, it's really good. I enjoy that series a lot.
Yeah. What I loved about the EU, we're kind of stuck on the EU for a bit, but
Yeah.
uh, what I love about the EU is Malazan is impressive, right? It's 10 very big books, but it's one guy, and then
Mm-hmm.
you also have Esamon. But with the EU, sure, there's contradictions. It was like 30 plus years of continuity, so you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have some. But for 30 plus years, it's remarkably consistent considering. And being a nerd who's read the vast majority of it, I could attest to the fact that it mostly works. I think the most egregious thing, like in the Thrawn trilogy, is that they say the Clone Wars was 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
which is entirely George Lucas's fault. Because up until he made the prequels, he reiterated time and time again the Clone Wars was 30 years ago. And then he
Mm-hmm.
made the prequels. He went, you know what? Actually, it's 20 years ago. And they made a quick mandate for that. They said Palpatine, when he became the Emperor, he changed the dating system. I don't know. It's a weak fix, but it's a fix, So, which they always did stuff like that. They always retroactively fixed problems, but
I
most of them
like
were
that
George's fault.
Palpatine would be petty enough
Yeah,
to change it from 10 years for whatever
yeah.
reason. Just
You gotta do what you gotta do. But I love the consistency behind it. And I was talking about New Jedi Order, and it's also a benefit of New Jedi Order. People read it without reading anything else. I don't recommend that. Like if you're gonna do that route, you got to go through all of the stuff after um, the movies because you really get rewarded in terms of the characters they introduce in the Bantam era. A lot of these characters show up again in New Jedi Order, so there's a lot of payoff for reading through everything.
yeah, I know that like
So,
Jason Solo becomes like a Sith Lord at some point. Like one of Han and Leia's kids turns into a Sith Lord.
oh, a lot of things happen. I won't spoil things for all of New Jedi Order and everything else, but there are losses of main characters. There are losses of film characters. But Jason's arc that transition doesn't happen until after New Jedi Order.
Mm.
Um, but that there's a lot of stuff that happens in New Jedi Order that kind of teeters toward that direction for him. But he's one of my favorite. He starts off very annoying for me
Mm.
because his whole thing because there's a Young Jedi Knight series by Kevin J. Anderson,
Oh
which
yeah.
is a YA series, just about Jason and Jaina at the academy, and he's mostly just a goofball that likes to talk to animals. Like he's basically Aquaman.
Well,
That's like his whole thing.
he's
Um,
Aquaman.
and then in New Jedi Order, he becomes a philosophical 16-year-old that took up some philosophy classes, and now he's questioning everything, and he's very annoying about it. Up until the second half of New Jedi Order, where he finally gets his stuff together and gets stuff done. But he goes from the most annoying character to my favorite character in the whole expanded universe, and it's crazy to think about Jason that you mentioned because you get to see him be born in Heir to the or not Heir to, the Last Command of the Thrawn trilogy. You see Jason and Jaina be born, and you get to see Jason eventually die. So it's like you get to see that guy's entire life. It's kind of crazy. So you get this emotional attachment to the character because you basically get to see his entire life. So I think that's pretty cool. That's something that only something like an interconnected world like Star Wars could do, with different authors carrying in and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, you mentioned Malazan. I'm actually hoping this evening. Well, it's Thursday the 7th as I'm recording this, but I'm hoping this evening to finish Gardens of the Moon. So hopefully it'll go well.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride so far. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, right. You're like, what's even? Okay. Most of the time with Malazan, I just have to go. I guess that's happening because it doesn't really explain how that is possible. Just crazy magic happens, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's something that happens. That's fine.
Yeah, I was
A
talking to
puppet
Tabitha
man, sure.
and Sherilyn from I think it's Books, Beverages, and Besties, the YouTube channel, and I was telling them all about Malazan the other night because I was just kind of, I don't know, I think I just read it the other night and I was kind of like, yeah, I gotta level with somebody about this, and I try to be as vague as possible about it because I don't
Right.
want to like give it away. But
Mhm.
man, so much crazy stuff in there. Like
It is hard to
there's a
explain
magic,
Malazan to people.
like there's a magic puppet, you know. There's dragons. There are gods running around, you know.
I know. It's crazy. They just throw you in the thick of it, and you just go, you'll learn. You'll be fine.
There's soldiers running around who are basically terrorists now. They basically become terrorists by the.
The bridge burners.
I guess they don't call them the bridge burners for nothing because they're about to
Yeah,
blow something up where I'm at. I'm like, oh my god. And
yeah.
then there's a thief who's like chosen by a god. It's like, okay,
There's so much to keep track of in every book.
yeah,
It's,
it's ridiculous.
it's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's
And
like you're
Krupp.
getting four
Krupp's
different
the
novels
thing.
in one every time.
I like Krupp. He's a fun character.
I like Krupp too. He's definitely a character that you either love or are annoyed by. But I'm of a positive disposition to the guy.
Yeah, you know, I think he's actually my favorite character in this. Like, I'd read a whole book about Krupp, actually.
Oh, the first book, I'd probably say, yeah, I agree.
You know, get into some wacky shit. I definitely read about him getting into some wacky shenanigans.
Yeah. I also really like Animander Rake. Not that there's too much of him in the first book, but he's fun.
Yeah, he's been weird. I was telling him about how he like lives on Moonspawn, which is like this gigantic like pyramid building that
Mhm.
floats and occasionally shoots laser beams when it feels like it, you know?
Right?
And I'm just like, what? What is
He's got a
this?
little mini Death Star.
Yeah, that. It's fun.
Yeah,
Nice little circle there. Yeah, it is
exactly.
kind of like the Death Star. Even though I know,
It's awesome though.
even though I
Yeah.
know Steven Erickson's a Star Trek fan, so he'd probably get offended that we mentioned Star Wars.
Probably. I love Star Trek as much as the next guy. My parents always said that Star Trek is for nerds, but they liked Star Wars, which I thought was hypocritical. I
Mm.
watched Star Trek on my own, and I was like, they're wrong. This is peak. So my favorite is Deep Space Nine, though, personally.
Yeah, it's
So
mine as well. I love Deep Space Nine.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, with Malazan, I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, like apparently the leader of the other continent that where Krupp and like Crocus, I think is the other guy's name, or I think that's how it's pronounced, because
Yeah.
you know he's just like, hey, what's going on? Or he's like, hey, I have to protect you for some reason, but I can't like tell you about it. And he's like, oh, really? Like, ah. And then there's like Tattersail, who is like this wizard lady, but then she
Mhm.
runs into Perrin. I don't know how to
Perrin,
pronounce
yeah.
it.
I think it's Perrin.
And like they're hanging out, and then she like blows up, and then some
Mhm.
guy's like, "Oh, she was pregnant," and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then they meets like this little kid, and he's like, "Oh wait, she's still alive," and he's like, "What?" And then it's like, "Oh wait, no, the kid you met, that was Tattersail." And I'm like, "What is going on in this book? What is this?"
Yeah. Me, that's how I felt too. You'll get more by book three. That's all I can say. Book two is gonna
Oh
completely have
god.
nothing to do with anything you just read about. So
Yeah, I've
outside of
heard
a few
that.
characters. So,
I've heard this. Yeah,
but I think book two is much easier to get into though, in terms of not being confused. I think it pulls you in a little bit easier.
yeah.
So
David said he's like, oh, you should get to the end of book two. That's where he's really firing on all cylinders. I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
do I really want to go through that? Like, ugh. But you know, yeah, no. Gardens of the Moon is interesting. Like one moment that kind of threw me off a little bit, like when I was first reading it, is that they're all like, oh man, we're gonna go to Moonspawn, and you're like, oh shit, like they're gonna like walk inside the building. He's gonna fuck them up. And
Yeah.
then it's like they ride up on him and it just turns into a freaking wizard battle. And I'm like,
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say the rest of the books are not nearly as I don't know, kind of like splattered with like all this different stuff. You're just confused half the time. People make it out to seem like it's like that, but every book progressively gets a little bit easier to kind of just vibe with it. But the second book really, I think by book two, people say go through the first three books. I think really you kind of know by book two where you stand because that's some of his strongest writing. Book two is still like my top five books in Malazan, maybe in
Mm.
top three. So that really shows some of Stephen Erickson's strengths with way less confusion. There is still confusion. You won't read a Malazan book without being a little confused, but
No, I mean I can
it's a much
follow it
easier read.
mostly fine. It's just like
Yeah,
it's just keeping up with all these characters and
yeah.
concepts and ideas. I'm like,
I
oh my
think the
god.
characters kind of shrink in book two. There's a bigger focus. There's a kind of core group
Mm.
and another core group, and so it's kind of much easier to remember everything you're supposed to remember.
And
So.
like in Guards of the Moon, all the characters only slightly connect in like parts like 4 and 5. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
Though the bridge burners are about to
Erickson for
pull
you.
like a
This is
terrorist act.
ridiculous, but I can't stop reading.
Yeah, it's for better or for worse. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping to get done with Gardens of the Moon later this evening. So hopefully
Mm.
that'll work out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll
Well,
have thoughts.
yeah. Are you gonna make a video on it?
Yeah, I have some friends. I'm hoping to. I put it up on a poll. I'm basically like, hey
Oh,
guys.
right. I voted on that poll.
I'm like, hey guys, do you want to see me do a review or a review with a skit, or would you like to see me just talk with some friends about it who like Malazan? And overwhelmingly, it was talk with some friends with Malazan. And I'm like, all
Yeah,
right,
I did reviews of them. I was gonna start with Wheel of Time
mm,
because I figured that'd be easier. And then my friend Brennan, he went and started reading it without me. And I was like, well, frick you. So then I started reading it. I catch up. We did a review on his, or we did like a live stream discussion on his channel
mm-hmm.
and for book two. But I was so enthralled with it that I finished all 10 and he's still trying to finish book three. That was really funny. But
Yeah, it's a yeah, it's hopefully it'll go well. I have some people I gotta go wrangle, so I have
yeah,
some people in mind that I'll wrangle for the Malazan discussion. We'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, no, it's been a journey so far, and a lot of people did tell me they were like, "Hey, Britton, Gardens of the Moon is a little like it's a little rough." I'm like, okay,
yeah.
they weren't kidding. It's a little rough.
It was a little rough.
Yeah, I've been texting some friends of mine. I'm just like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Welcome to Malazan."
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's kind of what you have to do when you get
yeah,
something new into it.
yeah, and I'm just like, I think Steven Erickson just is like, "Fuck you, I'm doing what I want,"
I think
and
a little
then
bit of that is true.
and then my friend goes like, "Oh, buddy, you haven't even seen it yet," and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, what
yeah.
could?"
One thing: never worry about the destination. Just enjoy the journey, and it will go by much smoother.
Yeah, I'm just kind of. I guess it's kind of frustrating. I'm like, okay, so like, not necessarily who the good guy and who the bad guy are gonna be, because it's clearly like everybody's the protagonist in this
Yeah,
story. But it's like, okay, what's the story? I mean, there is a plot going on, but like, okay, what's the main plot? What are the characters trying to do? And like, why should I care about it?
yeah. It the big picture definitely won't be picked up till later. Every book kind of has its own
No, there's some like good
plot
and
that gets
bad.
finished within
There's
that book.
there are some
That's
like
kind of set and done.
protagonist and antagonist characters for sure. Like, and
Yeah,
Amanda Rake's kind of just doing his thing,
yeah.
and he hangs out with Baruch from time to. Is it Baruch? I don't fucking know.
Baruch. Yeah, you're right.
I just thought it was like an Arabic sounding name, so I'm just kind of like, screw it, I'll
Mm.
go with it.
And the crow hangs out with the crow.
Oh yeah, his legion of crows.
Yeah.
They're just. I thought the crow was kind of annoying. I'm like, I'm surprised Animander Rake hasn't tried to kill it yet.
Yeah. He's got a lot more patience. He's lived a while. So
Yeah, and they keep talking about this guy called like Kaladin Brood or something like that, and he's like one of like Animander Rake's friends, I guess.
yeah.
And like this guy's like a big deal. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, this dude's gonna he's gonna fuck everybody up," and like he hasn't shown up yet.
All I can say is memories of ice. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
and then like a freaking god wakes up and is like, "Okay," which I'll admit was set up earlier because Lauren is all like, "Okay, so here's a plan." And like there's this zombie guy who shows up and joins her, and you're like, what? Who the fuck is that?
That's a lot of mass.
Yeah, it's
Tool. I
yeah,
love
Tool.
Tool and his dry humor.
Yeah, Tool. Tool shows up and he's like, and she's like, okay, here's the plan. He's like, okay. He's like, so we're gonna wake up this guy called like a Jaghoon or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Jagad, I think it is.
Jagan. Okay,
Or
we're gonna
Jagad. Yeah.
we're gonna wake
They
that
got
thing
weird
up.
pronunciations, these things.
So the plan is we're gonna wake that thing up, and it's gonna fight Animander Rake. And Animander Rake's probably gonna beat it because he's very powerful, but he'll be weakened enough so then we'll take him out. And I'm just like, oh my god, what are you doing? What is this?
Yeah. It's it's such a crazy ride. It's
There's
but
nine.
it's
You know.
amazing.
You know what the real bitch of it is. There's 9 other books like this probably.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I definitely think it's a smoother ride moving forward. But yes, there's continuously like,
It's like the Dark Tower
okay,
all over again. You know.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've been around circles long enough that you've heard about dinosaurs,
Yeah,
and
I've
that
heard
is
of the
true.
dinosaurs. Yes.
But the weird thing is that I don't find it silly. He's written it in such a way where I'm like, that is so stupid and so awesome all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the like the arc, the anime arc of the Malazan fan base because like a long time ago, I remember there was a lot of them who are like, oh man, like Malazan, not for the common reader. But like they did that for a little while, and then they went like full like 180 and like, no wait, there's dinosaurs. It's like it's been interesting seeing the Malazan fan base over the years.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think like if you read at middle school and high school and have not read for like all of your adult life just because life got in the way, and you're like, I'm gonna get back into reading, I probably wouldn't recommend starting with Malazan. So,
Yeah, I might turn some people off.
the
Yeah,
you got to
I
kind of know what you're going into. I feel like that helped me. Like I watched like Philip Chase and AP Canavan and other booktubers talk about it, so I kind of was in the right headspace to get into it. But if I had just like picked it up randomly, I don't know if I would have read past book 1. But I'm glad I did.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, hey, Gardens of the Moon. A lot of people told me to go read it, and I'm reading
Yeah.
it. Not sure what to make of it.
Yeah. Well, I think most people feel that way about Gardens of the Moon. I'll say like all 10.
I kind of feel bad for the Malazan fans now because I like
Yeah.
to make fun of them a lot, but I feel bad for them because it's like it's like the Dark Tower, man. Like the first book is a hard sell.
Yeah.
So
But
you know
I
what?
think
I've gained more sympathy with the Malazan fans.
yeah, I think it's one of the few series that it's like, I mean, people say this about all their favorite series, but like, there are a few things in life, the Bible being one of them for me personally, but outside of that, Malazan may be the only other thing that has touched my soul on such a deep level at certain points. Not all of it. Some of it's just really silly and dumb. And other parts of it, I'm like, this like my soul has been touched on
Like
like an
the like
inferior, on
like the
like on
dinosaurs.
such a level. So I can't even say that about the EU, and I've read all of it. So,
I was about to say, so like the dinosaurs. Would you say the dinosaurs are one of those elements
of what?
of like the silly elements?
Oh yeah, I mean the thing is it's taken completely seriously, and like I totally when you're reading it, you're like, oh, this makes sense. You're like,
Hmm.
I believe it, but when you think about it for any second outside of reading it, you're like, I am reading about dinosaurs with swords for hands. Like, this is so dumb. But when you read it, it works so well. I can't explain any more than that. But
Yeah, oh man, what's the crazy? Probably the craziest thing is that guy waking up from his like thousand
yeah,
year
in this
long
book, yeah.
coma, and is like, well, guess I'm leaving now. Just like leaving this place I'm at. And I'm like,
Race
what is this? I mean, okay,
and
again,
fights
this was set
dragon.
up earlier, but oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, at the
Legacy.
end, if at the end of the book, there's like a big battle between this like awakened thing and Animander Rake, I'll be like, okay, like it was worth the read. But you know, you don't have to spoil it. If
I
you
won't spoil nothing.
okay,
I won't spoil nothing. It's all for you to enjoy and be amazed and confused by. so,
again,
so
like I can mostly understand what's going on. Like I can see how
yeah,
like
no, yeah.
what I can see like the tapestry that Erickson's building. It's just like everything else it's overwhelming. Is
Yeah,
that a
I
good
think
word
that's the
for
right
it?
word. It's not that you can't comprehend what's going on. It's just that there's so much being thrown at you that it's hard to kind of keep track of everything that you're supposed to remember. What's like kind of not important? Because sometimes when you're reading a book, you kind of tell, okay, this is a side character. They matter for this scene, and then they won't matter again. And sometimes, if you read enough, you can kind of tell what scenes those are. But so many scenes in Malazan, I'm like, okay, all this might be super important, and I don't know because so much is being thrown at me. I have to keep track of all this. Like I had to take notes. Like there's just no way to
I've
keep it
been
all in my
I,
head.
I've been saying this to a couple people. It's epic with a capital E.
Yeah.
Like no joke, man. Like it's yeah. I'm not. I wish I were kidding.
Yeah.
It's insane. But yeah, no, it's yeah, it's been a ride, and I'm like, oh my god, there's 9 other books like that's probably gonna be like this. So
Mm.
I'm trying to go at it at a leisurely pace. And my friend's like, hey, I warned you. I warned you it was kind of a mess. I'm like, I know, but ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Is there a
But
more
do you think overall you're
approachable
enjoying
start to this series? And
it?
he's like, no. I'm like, damn you. But yeah, no. But yeah, no. But yeah, David's like, at least get to Deadhouse Gates and then make up your mind on what you'll make of the series. And I'm like, all right.
It's a
It's
good
probably gonna
book.
take it's gonna take a minute because I have a bunch of other books I'm hoping to read. Like I started another kind of it's kind of epic, but there's like sub series within this series. So you know,
Yes, there are.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Discworld. Yeah, so I'm reading
Discworld.
Men at
Discworld's a
Arms.
good one. I've only read a couple, but I have fun with them. So
Yeah, I had a lot of Guards really surprised me. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's also like got like good characters. There's a pretty good story in there, and oh, the prose is pretty good too. This Pratchett guy, he knows what he's talking about.
yeah. Sorry, I haven't gotten to guards yet. I've been I did what people said not to do, which is to go in order of the release, because
Oh,
people always say not to start with the first two. But I didn't mind them. I thought they were fun. And then I read Equal Rights, and I still need to read the following ones. But I'm 3 books in, and I'm enjoying it so far.
yeah, I still need to read Equal Rights, but I'm kind of stuck with the City Watch books at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've had another friend of mine who he actually had it in my book. But he's like, you should try Color of Magic at least, just get it out of the way. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. Like I've heard very mixed things. Like, yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Well,
where
the
it
good thing
goes.
about Terry Pratchett is you don't really need the continuity's kind of there, at least
Yeah,
from what I've heard. But you don't need to like have read everything to
yeah.
enjoy
Which is what
stories.
finally kind of got me to over the edge to read it because I thought it was like, oh no, it's another one of those Wheel of Time things where
Yeah.
it's freaking 90 books and well, okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's only 15 for it's only 15
They feel
for
longer though. I have to
oh
say,
god. I've not
Wheel of
ever
Time.
been interested in reading Wheel of Time. I'm sorry if you're a Wheel of Time fan, but it's just like, oh man, I don't know if it's worth the
I
time.
I I'm only 4 books in.
Oh,
I
okay.
have I make my reviews ahead of time, so they haven't come out yet. But I'm trying to be very kind because
Uh-huh.
I know that the fan base for Wheel of Time loves the series. They're super kind, super nice whenever somebody new comes to it. So I'm trying to come in with positivity. But at the same time, I see the vision, kind of like what you're saying with the with Gardens of the Moon.
Oh, geez.
But I don't. The journey through these books, like I don't think I really love any of the characters, and I feel like after 4 books, I should probably love one of them, and I don't in the Wheel of Time.
It,
So, but I'm gonna still go because I bought all of them, so I'm not gonna not read them
I
because
was
I
about to
spent
say,
money on it.
is
But
Magneto
I've been
Extra?
honest in my thoughts that I'm not in love with the series like maybe people would like me to be. So,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I will ask real quick. This is a little quick non sequitur. Is Magneto Extra also you?
Magneto Extra is my friend. So,
Okay, I was about to say because like this,
Magneto
because
is.
I just looked this up. I just saw this. I
Oh
just thought it
no,
was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what is
I
that?
forgot about that video. I am on there, but Magneno was something created by my friends that I didn't know yet in elementary school. My friend wanted to make like a company that never happened, but it was going to be called Magneno.
Oh,
So he named
okay.
his channel Magneno Inc.
Hmm.
He later changed it to Magneno like CG or something. I forget. But he had all these ideas.
You have very
He ended up
expressive
writing books.
eyebrows. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it
he ended up
there.
writing these books that are okay, and I've been very honest with him that I don't think they're fantastic books. But I'm a friend. That's what I'm supposed to do.
You're a good
But
friend.
but when we were growing up, middle school and high school, and I met them, they were making YouTube videos that were like a rough draft of the book he was going to write, and it gets very anime-ish, and it's kind of horrible and bad. But you can see us be horrible and bad on Magneto Inc. But that's where I got the name from because my friends on Instagram, they start with Magneno and then they have the second half of their name, whether it be Jay or Finn or whatever.
Oh,
We
okay.
all use Magneno. So that's where the origins of the name came from. So,
Yeah, I just found that because I was like, oh, I gotta look at your channel again because you've reviewed a bunch of stuff, and I just saw that. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I gotta ask him about this.
yeah. Like I said, my YouTube career has been rather crazy because I've been on YouTube since I was like 12.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I started making gaming videos on my channel with like a tablet and I put a bunch of books up and I recorded because I didn't have recording software.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that for a while. And on my friend's channel, we filmed stupid things. Like Finn Shamrock, we also filmed stupid things, but they were supposed to be stupid. They were supposed to be funny. Like we have a series called Cancer of YouTube,
Oh my god.
and we were big fans of Filthy Frank back in the day. So,
Oh. Oh, okay.
but so I've had a wild ride on this platform.
I was about to say, yeah, I sometimes still watch the Filthy Frank videos for nostalgia's sake.
It's the same. It's a different time.
The stir fry rap, I still sometimes listen to that from time to
It's
time.
generally pretty catchy though.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Like, I mean, to all the Joji fans out there, Joji's best album was Charlie, which came out for free on YouTube, and all the rest of his actual music. I don't know. I think his Filthy Frank stuff was better, personally.
I like the
So
first EP he did as Joji, but
yeah,
I haven't listened to a lot of his other. I haven't listened to much of his other stuff yet.
yeah. It just all kind of becomes samey to me, and so. But
Yeah,
that's just
he
me.
really got into like the sad boy, sad boy music.
Yeah, and you know how you know I'm getting old because there are people now who, when I mention Joji, they go, oh yeah, Joji," and they have no idea that he was Filthy Frank prior.
Yeah, no, I always see comments like this man like sacrificed part of his health for our entertainment. And I'm like, damn, dude. I heard like he
I
had some like
remember when he'd
serious
pick up
like,
dead rats and made like tacos with them.
oh my god,
Yeah.
ugh, ugh, ugh.
Crazy time.
But yeah, you've covered a lot of things on your channel. Like you've covered Malazan, obviously, and Star Wars EU,
Yeah,
and
I've
even Star Trek. I've not even dared touch any of the like Star Trek extended universe because oh my god, that sounds like not a mess, but it just sounds like
yeah.
that sounds painful to get into. Like I'm in.
Well, with Star Trek, it was never canon.
Oh,
which there's a
okay.
whole debate with the Star Wars expanded universe. People say it wasn't canon and it was canon. That's a whole other thing. Star
Yeah,
Trek, we know for
George
sure it
Lucas was all
wasn't.
like, I don't really
So
give a shit.
yeah, yeah. But with Star Trek, I very much can just go. I'm just gonna hop around to whatever sounds interesting.
Oh,
So like I've
okay.
read some mirror universe books because I'm like, well, it's mirror universe, but it doesn't even really matter for the main anyway. So why not? It's fun. So, but I'm not well versed in that world at the moment. But I have a friend who's in his like 40s who's a big fan of the Trek books. So I'm asking for his advice on what to read and what not to read, and so it's been helping me a bit.
But yeah, no, I also see you've been reading Conan, the original Conan stories, which
I
that's
have
pretty
been,
cool.
and
Um,
Elric as
and
well.
Elric, yeah, I saw your profile picture when you were on here. I will warn you, the Elric books do get a little convoluted.
Oh, I know.
With
I've
the
let's see. I review ahead of time, so like I got videos into
I
December,
was about to say
so I only have 3 Elric stories left to read actually.
with
So
the Eternal Champion stuff. So just
yes, yes.
don't say you weren't warned.
Oh yeah, I know. But Elric was always more appealing to me than Conan, just because he's kind of samey. I started reading Conan because I loved Karsa so much from Malazan. I wanted more of that feeling, but he's not a Karsa. He's a much simpler man, but they're still fun. So
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, if I don't know which copy of Conan you have. I don't know because like the popular ones are well the ones I have, which are the Del Rey editions, which are the ones I recommend, and
mm,
that big black book. I don't know what they
mm,
call that version, but like it's basically all the Conan stories are in there.
yeah, I've been trying to read them all. So all the stories. So I'm kind of just picking and choosing right now what's available. Um, But yeah, I still have a lot to go with Conan. I've not read all of it yet. So
Yeah, I think Conan is they're good adventure stories. I think. I mean,
yeah,
I still need to read the rest of them. Like,
I think what I said in some of the reviews, I think part of the issue is my age and the fact that so many of the tropes that originated from Conan or like Elric, they've been mixed and mashed so much in other fantasy works or other just movies and TV in general that, when I'm reading it, I always have to remind myself, yeah, but this would have been done first. But a lot of them feel like a generic sort of adventure story that I've kind of seen and heard 1,000 times. But I also understand that at the time that would have been new and fresh. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of that's the rub, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, Elric's cool because it's like, oh, let's do the opposite of that. Let's make him a weak, sickly, effeminate, elf
Yeah.
creature.
Super philosophical.
Yeah.
Which Conan only is on occasion.
and also have a sentient sword, which is freaking badass and horrifying.
Yeah.
I love Stormbringer.
Stormbringer, and such a good name.
It's a great
Stormbringer.
name, so good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I know you read comics as well sometimes, but like, if I could recommend like a comic adaptation, the French Elric adaptations, really really good. The art in that is just, mwah, so good.
I'll have to check it out.
It's really
I,
good.
I wanted to get a different taste of the Elric stories because sometimes they do become a bit much. So I thought a
Yeah,
visual medium might help me appreciate it more.
I'll
So
admit, Elric is a bit of an angsty sourpuss at times. Like,
yes, yes, but we love our sad boys, so it's okay.
he was like the first fantasy sad boy. Like people call it grimdark, and I'm just like, it's not that gritty. It's more weird
it's not.
it's more weird and broody. Like it's more like
If
dark
anything, it feels
fantasy.
much more like a space opera,
Yeah, a
but
little
in
bit.
fantasy.
Yeah.
It's Yeah, it can be very silly at times and lighthearted, despite the subject matter of the sword eating souls.
I
So
mean, like Conan, I wouldn't even call Conan grimdark, but like it's kind of where the kind of gritty fantasy comes from, a little
yeah,
bit. If you want more of like where gritty fantasy came from. I've heard Black Company is kind of a source as
that's
well
what I've
too.
heard too. That's something on the to be read, but I have so much on the to be read.
That's
I got to
true.
finish Wheel of Time. I got to read Realm of the Elderlings because everybody talks about that. The Jenny Ward's books. I got a lot on my to do list. So
Yeah. Also, I know like
yeah.
Steven Erickson likes the Black Company.
Yeah, I think that's what you get. A lot of his soldiers are inspired by his
Yeah.
whole soldier sections. So
Yeah, but but yeah, it's cool. You're covering Conan and Elric. Those are like the
yeah, well, so a
maybe
few.
one
This
day
is
you can
a
do Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. That'd be a fun one. They're more
oh yeah,
lighthearted. I'll say that.
yeah. I want to read a lot of the. So this is a bit of a deeper niche thing, but also back to Star Wars Expanding Universe. This
Full
guy,
circle.
well, it correlates back to what you're talking about, or when you're saying that you liked that I was reading Conan. But anyway. So I read this book called Supernatural Encounters, which is dubious in its canonicity in any continuity because it
Mm-hmm.
was written after. Basically, this guy named Joe Bongiorno got the rights back before Disney bought the rights to write a novel that dealt with the weirder aspects of the EU,
Mm-hmm.
and he was basically meant to make that all make sense. Disney bought the rights, but they never told him to not finish making it, so he kept working on it, and so he self-published it. But I don't know if he kept the money himself. I don't know how that all works. I forget. But basically, I read the whole thing. It was like 900 pages. It was like a Malazan book in of itself, and it dealt with all the. That's like if you've read the whole EU, this is the book you read. Not if you are new to it. That's a terrible place to start. But one of the things that Joe wanted to do, because I've talked to him, I had him on a live stream
Oh, that's cool.
talking about the history of space opera, and something he did a lot in the book was like the Wookiees that George Lucas created
Mm-hmm.
years prior. There was a novel that came out, but I don't remember who. I think George R. R. Martin even like wrote something about it before, but they were basically just Wookiees, but they were called something else,
Mm.
and nobody knows about it because all they think about is Star Wars when they think of Wookiees.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of what he did was implementing older things that are kind of getting forgotten and kind of made them be like canon again into
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. So it's like a nice throwing of a bone. And so when I was reading it, I was like, that's so true. There's so many things now that we take for granted because we're in this era of fiction, whether it be TV, movies, video games, or whatever. So I wanted to make at least one portion of my channel be dedicated to talking about the older things like Conan or Elric or other old space opera and sword and sorcery, because if enough time passes, I mean, less people are reading now. People will just forget, and I think it's important to
Yeah,
remember
like sword
things
and
that came
sorcery
before.
is neat because there's lower stakes. It's not like this big epic,
Yeah,
fantasy thing. It's not well. I don't know what I'd call Gardens of the Moon. It kind of defies category at times.
yeah, it does. It's all over the place.
But I mean, I do think there are some sword and sorcery elements, especially with the soldiers.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But I didn't realize what BOTME meant until it's Book of the Malazan Empire, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, basically, if you want to know anything about the Empire, you have to read Eslamont, because I promise you, Erickson never, ever will give you some sort of King's Landing scene, ever. So you're just left never knowing what the core political power is up to. And that's the only part that bothers me about reading all these books, is unless I read Eslamont, you have no idea. Like, it's not even a focus.
I
Like,
I
he deals with the bigger things, like
I
the
mean,
bigger, wider things,
I
but not
also
that.
see you've covered some of the Halo novels, which is kind of funny. I have a friend named Livia, and she loves the Halo extended universe. Like she really loves a lot of those books. I haven't read a
I've
lot
read
of
all
them.
of them up until the newest one releasing in November this year.
Now I haven't read many of them because, in all honesty, I don't know if I want to jump into that rabbit hole. But
I would only recommend a few personally. I don't think they were all worth it, but I did it. But I did it.
yeah, I was in a real big Halo phase back when I was like 13. So
Yeah. Well, I love the original trilogy by Bungie, and I still think Halo 2 has some of the most peak writing I've seen in a video game. Just from the simple things that, like, the little turtle guys, the the prophets say. Like I'm reading a fantasy book right now. Like what's going on? Like you get the prophet of truth just saying these like soliloquies in the beginning of the game. I'm like, I thought I was playing a shooter, not like Shakespeare. So
I really love Reach personally. I love
Reach is also phenomenal.
I love the atmosphere of that game. It's just so like, oh my god.
I mean, you begin knowing you're gonna die because it begins with your helmet broken.
Yeah.
So but it's more just realizing like, oh, everybody on your team's gonna die and the inevitability of it.
It's really sad too.
It is really sad. It gets me every time. It's a really sad game, but it's also really fun.
Yeah, like George dying is like the saddest thing I've ever
Hits me every
seen.
time.
I'm like,
Rip did George.
Bro, like you didn't need
Or
to
even
do
a
this.
small thing near the end of the game. I don't know why it's always stuck with me since I played it when I was little. But the guy that's kind of a jerk that has the skull on his helmet.
Oh yeah.
Near the end of the game, you know, you're fighting off the Covenant, and he gets stabbed in the back, and he like pulls himself out, and he says, "I'm ready. How about you?" And he throws him and the elite guy off into to die or whatever. And I don't know why that stuck with me so much, but that like it was one line he got, but it was so powerful to me. So.
Well, June survived the sniper.
June did, yes. He goes on to train Spartan Force in the books.
Oh, he does? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just kind of disappears from the narrative. I'm just like, whatever happened to that guy? Did he survive? Hope so.
Yeah, he's the only one that made it out.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would say for sure, Greg Bear. He did a trilogy on the Forerunners.
Yeah,
I think that may be the best thing to come out of Halo. Like, I think that's just good sci-fi, regardless if it was connected to Halo.
Yeah, that's what Livia told me. Tried the guy's name is Greg Egan, I think. I actually have one of his books.
Yeah, it's that's what's his name? The Didact says. He says that a lot. Or what was his big quote in that book, or at least in the first on Cryptum? I don't remember right now, but there's a lot of good quotes from the Didact in that first book that I really enjoy. But it also recontextualizes the entire original trilogy if you read that book, which makes it vastly more interesting. I mean, the little iRobot, 343 Guilty Spark. Mm-hmm. You want to have deeper emotions in that character? Read Greg Bear's trilogy. So,
Greg Bear, yeah.
Yeah. I say also, Fall of Reach is really simple. Like it is written for people that don't read. I don't know how else to put it other than it's like we're making this for gamers that mostly play video games because it's very simple.
You mean the game, or just like they made a book out of Halo Reach?
Yeah, well, it doesn't actually follow. That's another thing. Book fans were very upset, I guess. This is before my time, but book fans were very upset about the Halo Reach game because it had nothing to do with that. Is it contradictory? Not really.
It leads like right
Reach
up
is a
to
planet.
But it leads like right up to Combat Evolved.
I know it does, but you're following Master Chief and Blue Team in that book. You're not following the team from Halo Reach, and most of it is a flashback because it's basically explaining how Master Chief became who he was.
Oh, I can see how that could be annoying to some people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also like very simple in terms of good and evil. Annoyingly so, because the entire premise is that they kidnap children, flash clone them so they'll die in 6 months, and the parents won't, be wondering where their kids are because they think their kid's dead. And then you indoctrinate them and make them child soldiers with superpowers.
That's kind of fucked.
Right? But they kind of don't make it seem like that because, the Covenant showed up. So honestly, it was a good thing because if not for them doing all that, well, the humanity would be screwed. But I'm like, are we not going to address the fact that they just kidnap children and they say like, oh yeah, this is kind of bad in like a sentence, and they just move forward, like, all right.
This was not cash money.
Yeah, exactly. But Karen Travis, she wrote a trilogy which is very controversial with the fan base because she really moralizes that situation.
Oh my
She
god.
very much wants to talk about it, and
She goes the other direction. Oh god.
she's also hated in the Star Wars fandom because she wrote the Republic Commando books, and she does the same thing
Oh
because she
man.
hates that clones are just used as cannon fodder. So she really like hates on the Jedi in that series, and it's really funny to see people get really upset at those books
I've heard
because she
Republic
just
Commando's pretty good though.
yeah, no, a lot of people like them, but there's also a lot of people that get upset with how preachy she is.
Oh.
So, but yeah, so she's a controversial figure in every franchise she works for.
Yeah, it sounds that way. Oh my god. Yeah, no, but I haven't really played Halo in a long time. I kind of lost interest after Halo 4, to be honest.
That is fair. That is fair. But I'm not. I haven't liked anything since Halo 4. Halo 4, I didn't even love. I just liked it. I thought it was okay. Halo 5 is terrible. Halo Infinite is okay. I'm really not in love with the series like I once was. But I decided to read all the books because I don't know. I thought, why not? If I'm being failed in the games, maybe the books can
Maybe the books won't
balance it out.
fail.
And only some of them did. So only some of them did.
Maybe the books won't fail.
Some of them won't. Some of them will. But
No, I haven't I haven't read any of the Halo books. Maybe someday.
yeah.
Livia.
If you're ever bored,
Yeah,
got
like,
some
hey,
free time.
Livia, have you gotten this far? Have you watched this? Feel free to let me
if
know
you read
which Halo
anything,
books to try.
like I said, read the Forerunner trilogy. That's the one I can heartily recommend. I think that one's really solid.
Fair enough. I also see you've read the have you read the Adan trilogy? I hope so because
I did. I read the entire trilogy, and I
I
read
hope so
While Darkness
because
Gathers.
you've read While Darkness Gathers, which I haven't read yet. So
Well, I read. I do my reviews ahead of time. I actually sent them to Philip Chase already. But the Way of Adan should be coming out at the end of this month, and the rest of them will come out in September. But I did While Darkness Gathers. It was the only book I'd read concurrently with my actual right now self to get that review out because I was like, well, I have the book. I want to review it. I don't want to put it out in like January of next year, so I'll do it now. But most of the time, my videos are like a couple months ahead of schedule. So
fair enough. I mean, yeah, I've read the whole trilogy. Actually, I have it back there. I just don't want to pull it out right now because
I really love Return to Adan. This is definitely my favorite one of the bunch.
yeah, I really thought Return was really good. Though, funnily enough, Way was actually still my favorite. I really liked the arc in that one.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, you're doing it right. Yes, Philip. So.
Yeah, Philip does a good job of being a bit more like his prose are simple enough to completely get, but it's also eloquent enough to like get that sort of itch going for me because it's like I think he writes a bit better than Esselmont personally.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I think Esselmont's pretty simple with it, which is fine. But I really like the way Philip is able to like be somewhere in between. I'm also a bit of a prose snob. I've noticed as I've read more, and I really love when I can get a nice, good sentence. So that just gets me going. Like that's the only way I was able to finish The Prince of Nothing by R. Scott Bakker because it's written so well. Because if it was anybody else, there's no way I could sit through that.
Yeah,
so.
I've been hesitant to read that series for a long time, and not because it's bleak, though that's a part of it. Though to be fair, I've read Cormac McCarthy, so I can stomach bleak.
Funny that you mentioned that. Before I want to read the second 4-book series by R. Scott Bakker because I finished the original trilogy. But I heard that the 4 books is heavily inspired and influenced by Tolkien's works, which I've already read and seen, and Blood Meridian by McCarthy. So I started reading. I'm currently reading Blood Meridian.
Oh boy,
by McCarthy. So
is that your first McCarthy?
Yes.
Oh God help you! I personally wouldn't start there, but hey man.
Well, I
God
mean, I
bless you.
figured if I could do Prince of Nothing, I can handle Blood Meridian. But I have
Well, I mean,
watched
it's just
several.
not because of just the content. It's
It,
just really it's a very dense book.
it is very dense, but I've also read a bit of Gene Wolfe, so I figured I could handle it.
Okay. I would say Blood Meridian's on a whole other thing than Gene Wolfe, but
It is. I think the biggest thing stumping me is the lack of quotations.
yeah, I was
So
about to
making sure I
say
know who's
it's.
talking is
I think there's
it's rough
more
sometimes.
approachable McCarthy than Blood Meridian, but hey, good luck, man. I hope you enjoy.
I'm really enjoying it so far. The judge has to be one of the most fascinating villains of all time. So
No, but yeah, he was like, he had like I guess he gets like real defensive about criticism, which just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Which look,
McCarthy.
Bakker, not
Oh,
McCarthy.
Bakker. Yeah.
Like he actually got into like a discussion with a friend of mine over like a paper he wrote once about an author that my friend liked. I guess he took umbrage. And I'm like, I don't know, but then I've heard people go like, man, it's real good, it's all bleak and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I like bleak stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, expect no hope. Like, yeah, the
Oh, it's Nietzschean. Oh man, I gotta check this out.
I mean, the best way I like I'm religious. I don't really bring that up very often in my reviews
Mm-hmm.
unless I think it's like relevant to the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Malazan, they deal with like the redemption concept,
Mm-hmm.
and so I brought up stuff when I thought it was relevant. But I'm not like Jay that you've had on, where he's like that's very much a focal
He's
point of
a
the
he's a
channel.
pastor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the best way I can describe at least Prince of Nothing to me, it felt like this. To me, it felt like hell in a sense that people always talk about fire and brimstone, whether they're atheist or religious. But if you read the Bible, they also say or Jesus says, it's a place of eternal darkness as well as eternal fire, which seems like a contradiction, unless these are just analogies for how bad it is. But in Prince of Nothing, you either have the worst people on the planet, or you have people have the worst aspect of themselves in terms of like they have really low self-esteem and they really don't care about themselves, or they self-harm, or they do this or they do that.
I
The
heard there's a
best
lot of I
person
heard
in these
there's a lot
books,
of rape in
there is a
Prince of
there
Nothing.
is so much of that. You're going to be very uncomfortable because
Oh
it's
God,
sometimes it's in detail too, and it's never fun. It's not
I'm.
I can't say I ever enjoy
I was
myself
about to
reading
say
that
is
series.
does one ever enjoy themselves when reading about
Well, no,
rape? That's the thing.
you never do. But the whole thing, like, there's not a moment where you're reading Prince of Nothing, and you're like, man, this is really great. I'm having the time of my life, like, no, there's not a single character. Like, everybody just either sucks
Well,
or sucks less.
I was about to say,
And that's
well, in Blood Meridian, there isn't too much rape. It's kind of
there's
hinted at.
implied stuff for sure.
Have you gotten to the Comanche raid yet?
No, I finished.
I was
The
about to say
judge told the story about the father that killed a traveler
Oh,
and lied
okay.
about it all of his life.
Okay, you've gotten past. I was about to say you'd remember.
Uh,
You'd remember the Comanche attack.
Oh, the sodomized part?
Yeah.
I looked that up. I didn't know what that word meant.
Oh
But
yeah. Uh-huh.
I was like, then yeah, that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
the Legion of Horribles, they when they attack, yeah, it's vicious. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I haven't read Baker yet. Maybe someday, but I'm like, I have to be like in a
You gotta
good
balance it out with
headspace.
like some Superman or something.
Yeah,
'Cause,
Superman. Yeah, that's
so you don't want to like cry afterwards.
read like All Star Superman, and be like, there is hope in this world.
There is hope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cynicism is lame.
my friend Slay, Prince of Darkness series is his favorite thing of all time. And I asked him, I'm like, yeah, why do you think that? Because I've heard like his whole thesis is like there is no free will, like we're all puppets to a very Watchmen kind of Dr. Manhattan point of view. And he like, I won't say because he's a good friend of mine. I don't want to, if he wants to talk about what he told me, he will. But like what he told me, I was like, "Damn, dude. Okay, I can see why this series might speak to you. Damn."
Yeah, I mean, the first trilogy does not go as much into like I went into that prepared for that, but it doesn't come up too much in the first trilogy in terms of the no free will. It's more a critique of religion. and stuff,
Mm,
which is another reason why I wanted to read it, because I did not grow up religious. None of my family is. I came into it later in life.
mm.
But I always like to be challenged, and I never want to be in a bubble. So I look for things that are directly opposed to me, so I can be more sharp in what I believe, or have my mind changed, because I
So
want to follow
what was
truth
it?
wherever it leads.
So what do you think of Idan in contrast? Because I know that they both of those series revolve around a holy war.
Yeah, I think because of Philip's background, he's a lot more respectful
Mm-hmm.
toward that. Like, he's definitely not saying that religious people are terrible people. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely critiquing organized religion. Um, and I don't think Bakker's necessarily saying that religious people are terrible too, but you definitely get sort of, especially early 2000s Reddit atheist, man, those stupid, ignorant people, and which is fine. But I like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know when I finished Return to Eden, I kind of went into this huge rant near the end. I don't even know if this was the point of the books. This is just what I kind of garnered from it. That I was thinking about a lot of things at the time, but like everybody kind of, especially nowadays, sees each other as the villain. Like
Uh-huh.
whether it be politics or whatever else. Like people are like, "Oh, you're evil, you're evil." And I said, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about any particular group, I don't care what it is, you're the problem. Like, I think everybody.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, I said, like, listen, everybody is trying their best to figure stuff out, and most people aren't villains. Everybody's somewhere in between. And if we just loved each other more, then we'd have a happier place. That's ultimately, like, I don't. I had something happen when I finished Return to Eden that just kind of affected me, and so I just kind of came out. So I don't know if that's
You
what Philip wanted me to
snapped
get
on a
from it,
level.
but but he said he enjoyed my review. So
Well, okay, that's good. Yeah, it's yeah, I remember at the end when he talks with the elf, and the elf's all like, "Oh, it's like, you humans, there's no purpose. You guys just, or meh, And I'm just like, well, why is there magic then?"
yeah,
I asked
that's part
Philip,
of
and
it
he's
too.
like, "I don't freaking know."
Like, yeah, I
You can
don't
watch our
know and you don't
conversation
know,
about it
but
because I asked him,
yeah,
and he's kind of like, "I don't know." Like, it's
yeah. I really loved how it concluded.
yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm actually looking forward to reading While Darkness Gathers. Though I'll probably have to wait till 2026 to pick it up
It's
because
a lot happier, I'll say.
it's a lot happier. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
Well,
it's
I
still
mean,
it's,
I
it's
don't
still
think
Dan,
Dan's
so it still
that
will go some
dark. I mean,
places,
it gets
but
pretty vicious at times, but like,
yeah,
I don't think it's that dark. Like,
yeah, no,
it's
it's
pretty
definitely one of the
balanced.
lighter books I've read in these last few years. But it can still definitely get dark, and while darkness gathers, it's in the title. It does have its moments, but I think overall it's a lot more just a bit more of a fun romp in that universe.
Yeah, no,
So.
it's like, but going back to the Baker series, like from what I've heard about it, like it sounds dour. Like it's
Oh
just
no, yeah. It's not happy. Like there's no happy time. Again, it's purely the writing. Like if it was any lesser writer, I could not stand it. But he has such a way of writing that I'm kind of entranced. Like I have to keep going.
mm,
But like even the best character or like the most moral, and I use quotations, is kind of the main character, the Acamian. But even he's a really flawed person, and I wouldn't particularly call him good.
does he
But
rape
out of
anyone?
everyone, he's probably the least bad. And then also Esme, who's somebody he has a relationship with. She doesn't really do anything wrong, but she's also got like a pretty low view of herself, and so she doesn't have much agency. I hear that changes in the second series, but she doesn't. She starts to gain a little bit of agency near the end of the books, but it's still like I don't know. It's just uncomfy the whole way through. And
Hopefully, he doesn't rape anyone. That's not
a
good.
Camion, no. Other people, yes, but then also we're talking about free will. Uh, I can't really talk to you without spoilers, but there's a character, one of the main characters, Kellis. He has these powers that others don't, where he's very persuasive. Is what I'll say, and
Yeah, I've heard he's
he's
kind of
able to
like
persuade.
I've heard he's kind of like Paul Atreides. I've heard someone describe him like
Yeah,
that.
but more sexual.
Oh,
I'll say because pretty much every woman that he lays eyes with is at some point gonna want to bang him, and it's
Oh
But
boy, I
you
bet
know, is
that
it what they actually want,
I
or is
bet
it because
people
of his powers? I don't
I
know.
bet
But
readers just love that.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. It's uncomfy though. That's all I threw out. It's uncomfy
Yeah, I had a
times.
friend who really liked Esme as a character, but he didn't really like Kellis, and like that's funny because like
No,
a lot of
Kellis
people.
sucks. I hate him. I mean, he's a phenomenal character, but I hate him. Like, I hate him so much. But that's all I can really say without spoiling stuff for you. But it's actually, I think it's on purpose, but it's aggravating see him succeed as well as he does in these books. So
Yeah, isn't he like a god or something like that, or something of that sort?
he claims to be one. I don't think he is personally, but he that's definitely a claim made. That's debatable. So um,
Yeah, I haven't
yeah.
read any of these books, so I have no idea. So
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping it, trying to keep it as vague as possible.
I'm definitely
um,
like I definitely have to like make time for it at some point because like oh
you
my
also
god.
just need to be in the right headspace. Like if you're going through a rough patch, don't do it. It's gonna ruin the rest of your year. Like
Oh
you
man.
have to be in a good headspace.
Oh
So
man. I'm kind of it's kind of like I read I'll read something like The Road from Cormac McCarthy. I'll be like, you know what? Things aren't that bad. But then again, there is
yeah,
hope in that book. I don't know if I don't know if I'd say the same thing about like Blood Meridian because my God,
no,
it is vicious.
it's vicious. If Prince of Nothing is you're already in hell, then Blood Meridian feels like the judge leading everybody there. So
Oh, I won't give it away. It's you
it's
know.
also the first book I got out of my comfort zone with because I'm not much of a Western guy.
Oh yeah, that
But
hell of a first Western to go with.
yeah, yeah.
Probably it'll
I
probably
mean,
ruin the rest of the genre for you. You'll read like Lonesome Dove or something. You'll be like, damn. Like,
I've watched No Country for Old Men countless times, but I've never read it. So
oh, okay. I was about to say, well, if you like the movie, you would probably like the book.
yeah,
It's not
and
as
I've
dense
seen The
as
Road as well with only because it had the guy from Lord of the Rings.
oh yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
watched it.
Viggo Mortensen. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good in that movie.
Mm.
Um. Yeah. No. I really. But yeah. No. It's. I don't know. Like Malazan doesn't even seem that. But you know what? It's kind of like, funnily enough, even though
Mm.
Erickson said he's never read it. It's kind of like Elric. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
like
kind of dark and weird.
an Animander Break's kind of like the dark version of Elric's Light, like because they both have swords that kind of like devour souls.
Oh, it does. Oh,
Oh, my bad.
I
I
was gonna
forgot.
ask.
I
I
didn't
was
say
gonna
that in book
ask if he
one.
has. I was gonna ask if Animander Rake, if his sword was like Stormbringer, because I'm like, oh my god, if we get like a Stormbringer, that would be great.
I mean, it's not sentient, but it does capture souls. But
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
mean to spoil that for you, so it's my bad. I
It's all right.
forgot where things happen in which books.
No,
So,
no. It's all good. It's all good. It's
alrighty,
fine.
alrighty. But I was just saying because he's got like the long flowing hair, but he's like obsidian black as opposed to Elric, who's super pale. But they do got similar dynamics there.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard he's kind of edge lordy, which I'm like, I don't really get like edge lord from him. I get more like kind of a super villain at times.
the first book definitely gives you that idea. I don't know if you'll
He's
feel that way by the end,
he's
but
definitely
definitely the
hammy.
first book.
I'll say that. He's definitely hammy.
Yes, he's hamming the first. I'll say if it definitely feels more like Elric in the first book than the later books, because the later books will heavily deal with other things that.
He doesn't seem like a sourpuss though. He just seems kind of like a I'm gonna blow some shit up.
Yeah. I definitely don't think he's a sour puss, but he's definitely a more serious and deeper character
Oh,
in the other
okay.
work. So this is
That's
probably
good.
his most ham, where he's having the
Probably
most
his most
fun.
ham. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
oh.
he's used pretty sparingly though. Like there's 10 books and he only shows up a handful of times. So
I mean, hell of an intro though. He has the freaking like it's weird because I'm just like, okay, so he's floating over the city that was being besieged, but then he's like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go to another city, and then he just like disappears. I'm
yep.
like, what? Okay.
Yep.
Is he supposed to
Yeah.
be like this eldritch being? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's really.
Well, I can't really tell you anything,
Oh, okay,
but
well, that's.
yeah. I mean,
I asked
I'll
my
say there's
friend, I'm like,
also
is he an
Carconis.
ascendant? Because like I know like ascendants are a thing in this world, and he's like, you'll see, and I'm like, all
Yeah,
right.
you'll see. We have gods in this world. We have ascendants, which are kind of like demigods, or they're in between, where they have the powers of a god, but they have not reached godhood. But pretty much every god in this universe, as far as I can tell, wasn't always. So there's some fun with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I'll say there. But you'll learn more as you go through. So, but yeah, definitely the most fun is this one. I think it gets a lot, especially the next book. You get a tonal shift with the focus on a particular female character and the stuff that she goes through. Very hard. Plus,
I'll
an
say
army.
Perrin was also a character I ended up kind of going like, yeah, because I feel like he's the only one who kind of like goes through an arc in this, you know.
Yes, Perrin. Perrin is one of my favorites. He definitely goes through the biggest arc in this first book for
And
sure.
then like another one of my friends, my friend Raph, he's a big fan of this series. He's like, oh man, like he basically foreshadows the whole series in Gardens of the Moon. I'm like, oh, where does he do that? And I'm like, well, I want to give it away. And I'm like, all right. Cause like I'm
Yeah,
like so like what is the big thing here? Like cause usually in fantasy like there's the big whole and people are like, oh, he's subverting tropes. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. But like what's the big thing going on here?
the big thing you will get the answer to in book 3
Oh my
in terms
god.
of the overarching plot.
God
Like I
damn
said,
it.
book 2 is pretty self-contained
Yeah, I've
and
heard
what's
that.
going on. Book 3 is continuing off of book 1, and that's where you get introduced to, if you want more of that typical fantasy, this is the thing that we must stop. It's book 3. However,
Yeah,
I
like,
won't
cause
say
it's
that the
weird, cause like
series
they're
ends
giving
in the
hints, like
typical.
there's that big thing that we gotta stop, and it's like, okay, but like, what's the big thing? Is it that guy they woke up that they want to get rid
No,
of Animander Rake?
I will
And
say it is not the guy that they woke up. But
and then my friend Raph is all like, or well, Raph, he's all like, oh man, he's a great character. Hope you enjoy him. I'm just like, okay, like he's so funny. I'm just
yeah,
like,
I'm subscribed to Raph. I've commented a few
who is
times.
also a bit of a ham as well. Like he gets up and is all like, "Hey, hounds, come to me!" Ah, and I'm just like, okay, like what's going on here?
Yep,
That was when I was kind of like, what is going on here? Like,
that's
this is a
Malazan kind of
very
feels like an
hammy book.
anime
Can I just
with
say
what
that?
goes on.
There's a lot of
So,
ham in this book, more than I expected.
yeah,
Because I thought this would be
yeah,
more like serious. Because everyone's like, oh man, you know what it's about? Compassion. I'm like, oh okay. I don't really get
yeah.
any. I don't really get any of that in here. I mean, there is one
No,
part where like the character Lauren is all like, oh, but he showed compassion. I'm like, oh okay. So they just
I,
outright
I
said
think
it.
I think Lauren's a little underrated. I mean, I think um, I think she has a pretty decent arc in here, and
Yeah,
um,
I was about to say she also kind of changes a little bit because she's all like, "Oh, I gotta do it for my queen," I
yeah,
gotta, full Jon Snow like my queen, and then she's all like, like, is it worth it though?
yeah. I think she has a pretty good, decent arc, and even in this first book, I forget the scene.
You know
And
what? Maybe I enjoy Gardens of the Moon more than I'm thinking because like I have a lot of fun talking about it with people. I'll say that.
yeah, there's a particular small scene. I forget who it's between. I think it was Crocus and someone else. Maybe it was Fiddler. I don't know. There was two people talking though, like near a campfire. And it was a very small scene, but I thought it was really well written, and they had a nice little dialogue. I don't remember the specifics because it's been a while, but I was like, yeah, people say this one's like the weakest, but I thought this is a strong scene here. But yeah, I think Lauren has a good arc. I think that's one of the few moments where it gets a little bit more serious in that first book. Um, and then everything with Perrin, for the most part, I think is pretty solid.
Also, there's like
It's
the
definitely
quadruple crossing. Like everyone's trying to betray each other, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like,
yeah. I think that's the thing where they also say like a reread. I haven't done a reread yet because I kind of want to wait till Carconis is finished and then just kind of plow through it all again. Um, But this is where I also hear that a reread makes the experience even better because then you pick up on things you definitely would not have on the first one. So
Yeah, I've heard like Karsa is in like book 4, and I'm like, damn it, I was kind of looking forward to that because I like Conan a lot.
here's what I'll say:
It's like,
you'll see him in book 2, but I won't tell you how. But he is in book 2. He's unnamed,
oh,
but
okay,
you can try to figure out where you find him or not.
all right, you know
But
what? I'll keep that in mind whenever I get
yeah,
around to reading
but yeah,
Daniel's books.
book 4. There's 4 books in each book, right? Book 4, the first book in the book, is my favorite thing ever. And books 2 through 4 are okay in book 4. But
Yeah, I know 4 is kind of like, I've heard some people go like it, like literally like the first half is like a standalone like novella. And I'm like, huh,
yeah,
that's
so
interesting.
it's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. So basically, people, I guess, were saying to Erickson, "You don't know how to write characters. You write all these different POVs because you can't handle doing a single one for a long period of time." Or people were making some sort of complaint to him on Reddit or something, and he basically went and bet, "I can. I just don't like to write that way." And so he wrote that first like 200 pages just filled with Karsa for 200 pages. He's like, there you go. I can do it. I just don't like to do that. And then for the rest of the book, he does it the way he normally does. So it was just a big FU to everyone who said he couldn't.
Yeah, did you read his essay about characterization on like that he did on Facebook?
I did. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I mostly agree with him, I think. So, I mean, people have different things they like to focus on. I'm definitely like a character writer first, or I'm not a writer, but that's what I kind of look for is character stuff and emotional stuff. Like a plot can suck. I prefer it not to, but a plot can suck. If it has some really good character moments, I'll at least think the book is decent. Kind of like how Blood Meridian doesn't really have a plot. It is mostly events and a lot of interesting dialogue. But the plot is that they just keep going around killing people, I guess. So
Well, yeah, they're scalp hunters, so
yeah, so that's kind of all they do for the pages. Um, but Erickson likes to play around with a lot of stuff, and I respect it. So
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that was another reason I was kind of hesitant with Erickson for a while because I saw that essay and I'm just like, ah, man, like I you know that's not really professional, but you know,
no, it's not. But it's also kind of cool that he's so open with people
professional.
to give it back and forth, and it seemed a bit more
Which
respectful
he
than
even kind of goes like, bro, people are gonna hate on me no matter what I do, so I'm just putting this out. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair enough, but still, that's a little unprofessional. I'm just saying.
yeah. No,
I mean,
it definitely
I'm
is.
only like I'm a 24-year-old male, you know, so
Yeah,
I don't know if I really can talk to him about professionalism, but
yeah, same. I mean, I'm
it just
24 as well. What do I know?
it seems unprofessional.
Yeah. Maybe when we're not to say he's old, but when we're his age, we just simply won't care anymore.
Yeah, maybe. I was about to say
Yeah,
he is an older man, so
yeah.
maybe he
Who
felt
knows?
how I feel, and then he's like,
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, he's like, I got enough good readers here.
It is interesting though. We're in a time where authors can actually do that. Like, because you think like back in the day, like maybe you wrote a letter
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you got a response, but here you
Mm-hmm.
got Erickson like coming on all these channels and talking to people about the books and stuff, and being willing to make an entire article retorting a complaint. Which for better or worse, I mean that's a lot of interactivity. It means he's paying attention to
I
fan.
heard he wrote a whole essay about Karsa,
He
the
did. He
Conan
did.
character,
Yeah.
which I haven't read because I'm sure it's spoilery as hell.
Somewhat. Definitely wouldn't read it before reading at least that opening section with Karsa in book 4. But
Let me guess. It's this big epic thing, and everyone's like, "Oh man, this is great," and then he never shows up for the rest of the book.
no, he definitely shows up
Oh,
through the
okay,
rest of
that's
the book.
good.
He
I'm like,
he just
okay.
he's the sole focus for 200 pages, and then it goes back to the normal jumping around.
I'm like, okay. I don't know. I was about to say, I don't know if Erickson's that petty. If he just he just
No,
has that.
Karsa's definitely important to book 4 for sure. But
Okay. But anyway,
but
no.
yeah.
But yeah, he wrote that. I'm like, yeah, that's not really professional, bro. Like, I mean, hey, I'm still a young man, so, but still, seems a little unprofesh. And so, so I tried to keep that in mind when I was reading Gardens of the Moon. I'm like, okay, like, like the characters have like distinct like voices, I think.
I think so too.
Like,
They'll definitely feel like different people.
Now, I'm not really sure why I should connect with any of these people,
Sure.
Regardless, except for like maybe Krupp and Perrin, because I think Perrin's a pretty interesting character. I also like Whiskey Jack as well. I think he's a fun character. It's also a cool name. But anyway,
Whiskey Jack is a pretty cool name indeed.
And I'm like, oh yeah, like Perrin and like Krupp are like the only characters I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm all right, I can follow these guys, and that's about it. I'm like, so if Erickson ever watches this, which God forbid he does, but if he ever watches any of my Malazan content, I'd be like, okay, so in this book, why should I care about these characters, and why should I care about what's going on? And see how he would respond. And I'm being serious. I'm not like trolling or nothing. And maybe some other Malazan fans will, tell me. But I
think that's a fair point in book one. I don't know if I personally felt super close to any of these characters by the end of book one. It's kind of the accumulation of the series as a whole. But there's also little moments in this book from memory that, if you're blazing through, you don't really care too much. But like I said, there's a few moments where people are just kind of chatting and talking, and I thought that was some good moments to kind of get endured to some of them.
Yeah, but like, and then there's like points where he like tries to make you feel sorry for him, and you're like, but like, where's the freaking context? Like, him and Tattersail only talked for like a minute in that freaking building in the city they were besieging. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
No, that's true. That's true. I definitely think if you have an issue with that, your problems will be instantly resolved by book two. I think it does a much better job of making you have pathos for everyone.
I hope so. Because that kind of irritated me a little bit. Because I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
Perrin goes through
I
appreciate that Perrin goes through an arc, but there's still some stuff I'm like, I'm sniffing some BS here.
Yeah.
Though I did hear this was a script at first. I'm like, how the hell were they going to turn that into a movie? Like,
I have no idea how that would have been possible. But yeah, I think book two will address most of your complaints, I think.
Okay, well,
so,
I guess
like it feels the same, but it also doesn't feel the same at all. So,
but yeah, no, I'm just like, it's a little sus, Erickson. It's a little sus. I'm sniffing some BS here. No, I'm sure he's a nice enough guy, but I'm just kind of like, bruh, it's kind of frustrating. Like generally how I generally think books should go. It's like, okay, here's a character, here's why you should care about them, here's why you should care about what's going on, And Erickson's like,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's definitely more interested in kind of like introducing you to the world that he's creating.
They're gonna blow up a city because
Yeah. Why not?
Well, they explained why they're gonna blow up the city. I think
they do.
I think they don't want the Malazan Empire to get their grubby hands on it, if I recall right. So
yes.
But mild spoilers, I guess. But that's not really like a big thing. Like that's not even the craziest thing that happens in this book. At least so far. I say so far. I'm almost towards the end. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. It's a wild ride, that first book. But
yeah, I'm just like, in like Moonspawn, that pyramid in the sky, that's in the first 100 pages,
Yeah. There's a crazy battle in like the first 50 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? What is that?
And then somebody turns into a puppet. And then
somebody turned into a puppet. I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, I remember I was talking to Tabitha and Sherilyn from Books, Beverages, and Besties, and like they were really into that puppet. They're like, we got to know a lot more about this puppet. I'm like, well, read Gardens of the Moon. They'll explain it. Because I tried to be super vague about it. Like,
yeah, they explain it, but they also don't really.
It was really hilarious it was really hilarious when like they're all like, they're just some people, I forget who it is, but they're like walking around, and then like either like they're walking around or they're flying around, and then like the fucking puppet shows up and just starts wrecking everybody. I'm just like, what is this going on here?
You ever
So
see?
insane.
I don't remember what the horror movie was called, but there was those. They made quite a few of them. There's like a little puppet. He has like a white face and like a trench coat, like a hat and a hook. I don't remember what those are called, but that's all I thought of when I heard about Harlock as a puppet. So
Yeah, I kept thinking of Slappy from Goosebumps.
Slappy from Goosebumps.
Yeah, just running around being like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah, you
what?
see.
See? Yeah, no, I'm just like, what? This is supposed to be serious and literary. Like, come on, guys. Like, get out of here with that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think Malazan goes to every genre at some point in terms of being happy, being sad, being absolutely ridiculous, and everything in between. So
Yeah, I remember.
um,
I remember my friend Joe Byrne told me because he's a big Malazan fan too, and he's like, I think all of fantasy is contained in that series. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah, you get a little bit of everything.
okay, yeah. Yeah, and then there's like Warrens. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What are Warrens? And it's
To
and
be explained later.
yeah, and I'm just now my
I still
thought
don't know if
is
I fully
it's
understand it.
now
I've read
my
all of them.
now my thought what I think of is like Fae stuff.
The Fade.
No, Fae like
Oh, Fade.
fairies.
Oh,
Um. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. And I don't know if it's a good way or a bad way, but it's ridiculous.
yeah. Well, don't expect to truly ever understand the magic system because you won't. It's just okay. I guess this is possible. I'll go with it. So
Yeah, I remember one of my friends complaining that like they're just kind of flinging spells at each other, and I'm just kind of like, it's
yeah,
fantasy, bro.
yeah. Some fantasy tries to make it a science. Some fantasy just like just have fun. So, which is
Yeah,
definitely what Erica wants you to do. Just don't think about it too much. Just enjoy the ride.
yeah. I'm looking through your channel. I'm just like, I kind of like you have a video called "Philip Chase is Phenomenal," and it's just Philip in his little tweed.
Oh, it's because he sent me for free the copies of Way of Adan, Prophet of Adan, and Return to Adan. So I said thank you in
And
that
there's also
video.
like a big reveal about the two gods. I won't say who it is, but like
Oh, I know, but yeah.
there's a big reveal about him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then my friend's like, you should read Knight of Knives. I'm like, damn it,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yep. It's a fun ride though. There's so much to learn, so much to enjoy and be heartbroken by, and just take your time, enjoy it. Don't rush through it. Just enjoy the journey. Take two
Oh,
years. Take
I'm
one
just saying,
year.
I haven't been able to rush through it. It can be a bit laborious.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good word. Laborious. You should bring that back. People don't use big words enough.
It's
I said
it's
morsel one time. Like I just had a little morsel of food, and my friends straight up thought I made it up. Like they thought I was making up something. I'm like, no, that's a real thing. It's a real word. I promise. So,
like, I don't know if it's like the densest read in the world. But
no,
it's
I
like
wouldn't say so. I think
like I
Blood
said.
Meridian's harder.
I was about to say it's overwhelming though. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I think the pros are pretty easy to get into. It's more so just the information you have to digest and keep track of. So,
Yeah, it's oh my god. It's insane.
yeah, I guess that's the perfect way to describe Malazan. It's just kind of insane.
I'm just like, oh man, like what could be even crazier than this? But then I'm like, well, apparently there are dinosaurs with swords for hands in book 5. So,
They're in a few books. So.
so I was like, oh my god. Yeah, I was telling my friends, I'm like, oh man, why didn't you mention the dinosaurs? And I'm like, dude, they're in book 5. I was just like, still? You could have said that. I would have gone through it just to find them. It's like, well, you have to wait 5 books. I'm just like, get out of here.
Yeah, book 2 definitely comes with some of my favorite quotes from the Malazan series, like the children are dying quote.
Yeah, you
Um,
shared that with me the other day.
Oh yeah, I did. I did share that. Yeah. So I really love Dead House Gates. It's one of my favorites. So
So,
hopefully,
like, what is your
hopefully,
favorite Malazan? I'm curious.
I did do a top 10. I don't know if that video hasn't come out yet though. Man, top three. My favorite is book five, Midnight Tides. It's my favorite book of the bunch. Um, and then I'm probably gonna give it to Dead House Gates for book two, honestly, because I didn't like Dead House Gates that much when I finished it, or I thought it was good. But then I literally every single day I kept thinking about it. And every time I thought about it, it just got better and better and better. And I would talk to my friend about it that was starting to read it. I was like, oh yeah, that's amazing. This is a good part. And so it just keeps every time I think about it, it gets better and better. So, um, and that really is the start of the compassion thing because I'll say there is a female character. She
Yeah,
goes through a lot
I was about to
in that
say.
book.
I was about to say. I hear a lot of the Malazan fans or Malazan. How the fuck you pronounce it? I don't think Erickson even cares. But anyway, like, there's a lot of Malazan fans who just are like compassion.
Yeah,
That's what it's about, and I'm just like, that's
yeah,
great. I don't see any of that in this book.
yeah. I don't know if it shows up as much in the first book. It pops up throughout most of them, but
You're
with
really
like
helping me prep for the Malazan chat with my friends here, by the way.
well, book three especially is where people usually start saying that phrase. But book two,
They just start
I'll
like
say,
they just start parroting like compassion.
well, no, well, there's a female character. I won't get. She goes through a lot. Is all saying. You
Uh
like
huh.
intellectually, you completely understand where she's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to be annoyed by her because she's going to be a jerk and frustrating and
Mm-hmm.
rude throughout most of the book. Even though you're like, I get why she's being like that, doesn't change the fact that she's annoying. But that's the thing. It's like, but do you have enough compassion to still feel for her? Because like, if you were in her shoes, you'd probably act the same way. But at the same time, when you're reading a story, you just get annoyed by it, just like some of the characters do in the story. But at the same time, it's because we don't have enough compassion for her and what she went through. So, but that's more of a thinking about it as you finish the book, more so than as you're going through it. Book three is a bit more overt with the sort of ending it gives us, which I obviously am not going to say anything about. But it very much ends in such a way where you're like, oh yeah, compassion. I get it. I get it. Because it's a big focal point of how book three ends, is all
Mm-hmm.
I'll say.
I'm
We were
like,
talking about Star Wars earlier, so it's a little bit of a kind of a beautiful little through line there, is all I'll say.
so
So,
like, so are we supposed to feel compassion for our boy Karsa, the Conan character?
uh, Karsa's, well, another thing. I mean, he does a lot of things to a lot of people. So, and yet, Karsa's a lot of people's favorites characters of the whole series. So, and seeing as how he does a lot of things in that initial book, it's like, it's
Also,
funny how easily we give compassion to Karsa, considering what he's done, but don't give compassion to a girl that's been assaulted because she's annoying.
ew.
So you see, like
Uh-oh.
it's the counterbalance there.
No,
So
but it's what book am I um trying to think of? I don't even remember. But
yeah,
but yeah, it's weird. Maybe I should try Dead House Gates. Like I said, I'm probably gonna take a little break from Epic Fantasy for a little bit, but
that's fair.
when I return to it, maybe I'll give Dead House Gates a shot. I'll be like, all right, yeah,
Like I said, I put it up there. I think it's a really good piece of literature fiction in general. I think it's really good. Um, so
yeah. It's just
Midnight Tides is my favorite simply because it's a pretty easy to follow plot from beginning to end. It's the most normal of the whole bunch in terms of a story to follow, and yeah, I can't say much more than that because it's book five. So
I was gonna ask because we did mention the EU earlier, kind of bringing this back to EU briefly, but did you ever read the Revenge of the Sith novelization from
yes,
Matthew Stover?
by
So
Khan or
good.
whatever. It was good.
Like, it's
I enjoyed it.
a lot better than a novelization has any right to be. I'll say that.
Well, if you feel like that, you need to check out the episode three novelization by Matthew Stover. It's going to heavily make you appreciate episode three a lot more.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Stover's prose in Star Wars are very purple though, so be prepared for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah, no, I've only but going back to Malazan though, it's like
yeah.
I'm just like, where's this compassion thing? I've only seen it be mentioned once in this book, and it's Lauren being like, "Oh man, like he showed compassion, and that guy didn't even deserve it." I'm like, this is some fucking Care Bears shit. What is this?
Well, I'd say it's actually a more interesting thing to think about Lorne herself, because I think a lot of people kind of write her off. And I think people don't have enough compassion for her as a character, which I think is actually the bigger thing to discuss of book one in terms of that theme, because I feel like she gets a lot of flack for kind of just doing her job. And
well, I don't really feel one way or another about her. I just feel like, oh yeah, you know, she's kind of the head honcho assassin lady. Oh, she has a zombie friend. That's weird. Okay.
Because I know when my friend talked about it, he like hated Lauren. I'm like, why? What did she do? Like, what did she do wrong? Like,
she's just existing.
Yeah, she just existed. Like, I don't know, it's not that bad. But,
no, it's just like I have just like, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about it yet.
like I said, I think all your feelings will be flipped around by book two.
Well, it'll be resolved by book two. Okay, yeah.
A lot of them, not all of them. I mean, Erickson will continue to be Erickson, but I think you'll have a much better idea of what people are talking about by the time you finish Dead House Gate.
Is Esselmont any more? Is Esselmont more accessible? Like I want to know that.
Way more accessible, and he's a lot more lighthearted than Erickson will later be. They all feel a bit more like Gone is the Moon, minus being confused half the time. They're all a lot of fun. They also are the only books that give you any inclination as to what the Malazan Empire is actually like. Because Erickson's, as I said earlier, he's really into the big stuff with like the gods and the end of the world and this and that. But he doesn't really care about the politics of the day to day, like Game of Thrones or King's Landing, where Esselmont's the only one that actually gives you any of that whatsoever. So
I've heard some people compare it to George R. R. Martin. I'm like, ha!
No, not at all. He's super. Martin cares about the geopolitical stuff going on, and Erickson does not care. He'll lightly bring it up when it's convenient and important, but he does not care about it. That's not the focal point of his books at all. So
yeah, I read excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm reading this. I'm like, this is not at all like George R. R. Martin.
No, I don't know why people would say that. I don't see that. I mean, maybe in terms of having multiple POVs,
the Bakker books to our boy Stephen.
I mean, everybody's got to be in some way, shape, or form mentioned to Martin. It's kind of like Eminem with white rappers. You know, like you're gonna get compared the moment you write a fantasy work. It's like Tolkien and Martin. If you write a fantasy work, you're gonna be compared to them. So.
Yeah, it's either Tolkien or Martin or Robert E. Howard.
Yeah, Robert. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Though, hey, he might be. I know that Erickson likes Robert E. Howard, so I was like, okay, maybe this guy's all right. Yeah.
That's why Karsa is meant to be a deconstruction of Conan.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. So.
Yeah, because Conan's all about like critiquing society and
civilization, yeah,
and how he's like the innocent, or not that he's innocent, but there's a sort of innocent nature to being, not a savage, I guess, but he's with nature and stuff. He's not.
There's an honesty to Conan.
Yeah, there's an honesty to it, right? But then Erickson's like, yeah, but like he's still a savage, so like
he's still a savage.
How do you feel about him, like or not a savage is the right word, but he's still a barbarian, so like he's still gonna do horrible things like touching people where they don't want to be touched and stuff, and like how do you reconcile that with that? But is it really better than civilization? I don't know. That's kind of the thing that's talked about. So
Yeah, I know. I know. I've heard him say he likes like Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser and like some of the older like sword and sorcery kind of fantasy. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of what initially kind of was like. Okay, maybe I'll give this Gardens of the Moon thing a try.
You have to read if you're a big fan of Conan. You got to get to Karsa.
I
It's just
know.
he's honestly, I think he's a better character than Conan because he's more fleshed out. So he
Well, I
has
mean,
more
Conan's
to.
very straightforward. He's
Yeah.
he's very much like a I don't want to say he's like Hercules. He is kind of like Hercules in a way where it's like
And Hercules is kind of like Samson. Everything
yeah,
there's nothing new under the sun.
yeah, and
Yeah.
same thing, yeah, and
Yeah,
Samson.
they're all big buff guys.
Though Conan, as far as I know, has not fought a lion yet, so and beaten it with
I
his
mean, he's
bare
fought
hands.
big giant gorilla men and other
That's
things.
true. He has done
So,
that.
I think that's a fair equivalent.
That's true. That's a good point. I forgot about isn't that Queen of the Black Coast where he fights the gorilla people?
I believe so. There's a few stories where he fights gorilla people or ape-like people. So.
Have you read the one where he has to free the lady from the black like pirates or anything like that?
Yeah.
Have you read that one?
Yeah,
I was
that's
about to say
the
that's the one that's a little problematic, but I actually I still
there's
defend
two
it.
bad ones that I've read so far. One of them was kind of like an origin story for Conan, sort of, kind of. It wasn't, but it was like earlier on in his life, and he just desperately wants to have sex with this one girl who clearly doesn't want it, and it's never portrayed as like a super bad thing, and so that made me uncomfy. And then there's another story.
Are you talking about the Frost Giant's daughter? That's actually my favorite.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
that's actually my favorite one. Not the rape part, kinda, because it's. I won't get into that, but
yeah, that's okay. You can talk about it off streaming.
Not the rape stuff, but the other stuff.
Yeah, not that part, but the other stuff. No, yeah, there was good parts to it. It's just that part kind of soured it for me.
Okay,
but then the other one,
I've heard similar critiques. I'm like, that's fair. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was called, but he was like in this jungle, and there was a bunch of African American people, and it wasn't even the story itself. It's just how Howard explicitly used some of his descriptions, where he called them frog-lipped, and I was like, oh.
I think the part that really, I think the part that really kind of like went like, ooh, is when he literally says like, it's my duty as a white man to save you. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Oh.
But like, it doesn't happen too much. I'm surprised at how like pretty okay it is to go through Conan considering when it was written.
Yeah.
But then there's some stories just like, oh, right, this was the 30s.
I should say he's not as bad as Lovecraft. That's not really saying a lot, but
he also named his cat that word, and so I was reading one of his stories, and I guess I don't think I was paying full attention because I got a little confused because it kept talking about the N-word jumping on the cabinet, and I'm like, what is going on? And I was, it's cat. Oh. So.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, Lovecraft, why you got to do that? But it's well, it's
at least he seems to be. I'm not trying to justify his behavior. I think Lovecraft is less, I hate you, and more genuinely, you're different, I am scared of you. Like, actually xenophobic. Like, he's actually just scared of things he doesn't understand, as opposed to, oh, I'm better than you because I'm white. Yeah. Is how it came across to me. So.
That's about what I'd say.
He's just an introverted racist that needed to meet more people.
Yeah.
And maybe he would have been better. So at least I would like to believe so. But
also there was apparently a lot of bad science at that time, so
yeah, that too.
But yeah, Howard, that's a good point. There are some stories where you're like, oh, this actually isn't that bad for that era, and then you'll read stories like, it's my duty as a white man. I'm just like, oh God.
Oh. And you're like, oh, right, because a lot of them, it's like you're kind of transported to a different time. It is supposed to be the past, but like the ancient past.
Yeah.
You kind of completely roll into it.
Like, I guess what I would say in defense is like I do think that Howard is better at saying like, this is what the character thinks.
Yeah.
And not
even
me,
if it is what
personally.
He thinks too.
Even if he's like, I think that's kind of based,
Yeah.
Which I think you could say about a lot of Conan, where he's like, this is kind of based, like you should live a life of savagery.
Yeah, yeah, it has its moments, but yeah, I think most of them have aged fairly
Oh
well.
man.
It's
Yeah,
just those
yeah,
occasional
yeah.
hiccups that don't age as well. So
Yeah, no, it's that's kind of the thing. I remember watching a review. I won't. You know what? Am I gonna name him? I won't name him, but I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. But he did a review of Conan where he's basically like, oh, he's just going after a bunch of black people, and this feels like this was written for young boys. And I'm just like, yeah, that's
well,
because it was.
and Howard was like,
You frickin'
what,
moron.
in his early 20s when he wrote that.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, it's very bad faith review, I thought.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, and I think they've done that a few times. But yeah, that's all I'll say there. Um, but yeah,
But yeah,
it's
no. But yeah, Conan is I think it still holds up, even though, there's still the kind of racist stuff.
yeah,
I won't justify it, but yeah.
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 Have you read Solomon Kane or
I have
the
read
Kroll books
I
as
have
well?
read Solomon Kane. Solomon Kane's probably my favorite Howard character, even though I think like Conan's better written overall.
Hmm.
The
I'll have to
Right
check
Hand of
out Solomon
Doom,
Kane as well.
I think Right Hand of Doom is probably the best story of the Solomon Kane cycle, if you want to call it that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's pretty good.
What about the
a little more racist than Conan,
oh
admittedly. But even though there is a sympathetic black character, it is a bit caricatured. So
yeah. What about the King guy, the Kroll or Knoll or whatever his name is?
oh, Cole, I think I only read one short story of that, and then I put it down. I need to read that. I haven't read that. I haven't read Brockman Morn or some of the other. I haven't read like his Western stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I've only read Conan and Solomon Kane, and that's about it.
That's fair.
Though I like Solomon Kane. I think Solomon Kane's pretty good.
I'll definitely check it out.
That actually inspired some of the stuff that I'm working on right now. So,
Oh, you're writing a book?
well, I wrote a book. I'm editing it some more now because I've got back to it because I'm like I gotta get off my ass and do this. But
Well, definitely let me know when that's finised.
yeah, I
Definitely,
will.
I'll fork over some cash.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just chuck some cash. Be like, you should blurb this. No,
Yeah.
no, but yeah. I'm like, this is a lot of fun. But no, yeah, I mean, you might like Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser if you're liking Conan. It's a bit more lighthearted, though. Its depiction of women hasn't aged very well, but aside from that, fun times.
Yeah, to be expected. The older you go, it's interesting. One of the big hooks people gave me for Wheel of Time was how much of equality there is with women and men. And I started reading it, and I'm like, I mean, the women are kind of all caricatures of women. I mean, they are a bit more independent, but they're also they're like scheming because they're women, and they're like, at least that's how it comes across, the story. And I'm like, okay,
They're scheming because they're women.
yeah, that's how it feels. It's trying to tell me. So, I don't know, but a lot of girls that I've seen review it claim it's a very positive. I'm like, okay. I mean, sure. I don't know. It just feels very. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it is a really nuanced take on women. But I think the ultimate point is that the men and women have to work together, which fair enough. But I don't know. I don't see them as these great bastions of woman like I was led to believe when I came into the series. At least so far, I haven't finished the
Yeah,
series, so it
it's kind of
completely
like
changed.
saying like, oh, you want to know what feminist literature is? Conan. Conan's feminist. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, get out of here.
Conan, a feminist. That's hilarious. No, I mean, I guess there is the Queen of the Black Coast where he joins up with that pirate queen,
Oh yeah,
and
it's one of my
he's kicking
favorites.
butt,
I love that
I
story.
guess. But
Conan is a love story. It's actually pretty
I know
good.
it's because he finally met an equal,
Yeah,
but because of that, she had to die because he's not allowed to.
Conan can't be happy.
He can't be happy to be with somebody that's equal to him. He has to keep saving damsels in distress.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah, it also has one of my favorite lines from Conan.
Yeah, that's where he does his little soliloquy
Yeah,
about the yeah.
I'm like, yo,
That's
that
good
goes
fun.
so hard. But yeah, no,
It does go hard.
that goes so hard. No, but like, yeah. And then you read like Elric, and he's just like this. Oh, I used to be an emperor. It's
I want to. I killed my cousin that I loved,
like, yeah. My other cousin hates me. It's like, dude, like,
and I put him back in charge for some reason after he vetoed.
I'm sorry. It's so I'm sorry. It's real easy to make fun of Elric sometimes because he's just kind of like.
It's okay. I love those stories. So
No, they're fun. I enjoy them. It's
yeah,
just like it's kind of funny at times because
but they
you're.
are funny. They're a little. They're a little silly, you know. But I think I've been said in one of my reviews like, wouldn't be fantasy if not for the incest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's all like he wants to really like go balls deep into his like cousin, and his other cousin's like, "Fuck this dude, I'm gonna take over. This guy's a
Yeah, that's
wuss."
that's literally it.
And he's
Well, I mean,
like, "I'm
hey,
gonna be a mercenary."
I'll be a mercenary. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty. And he goes off on a. If you're reading it in chronological order, he goes on a bunch of side tangents before actually going back to his kingdom to save it or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Um,
And he's like, "Oh, you're the eternal champion now. Go nuts," you know.
Go nuts. So you want to completely understand that? Go read the 50,000 other stories that Michael Moorcock wrote about these other people that you don't care about. So, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just like, yeah. I'm just like, oh my god.
I
Ugh.
didn't realize I had to do so much homework for Elric.
Yeah, but those like first couple are pretty damn good. I enjoy them.
Yeah, yeah. I think I think still my favorite out of the whole bunch that I've read is still that first initial one, or not the first one publication wise, but when he gives the backstory to Elric leaving. I think
Yeah,
that's still my favorite one of the bunch. So
yeah. It's just you know,
my
it's
cousin,
my cousin. Yeah,
I killed my cousin. Oh no, I'll never be able to be with her now.
it's like, oh no, the
Yeah.
sword. It's like, oh god.
Maybe the sword did you a favor. I
Yeah, yeah.
don't know.
And the swords are like, feed me. And he's like, ah, God, not now.
Sword's like, listen, I'm a bad guy, but no cousin on cousin action, okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're not far off. It can't be fantasy without some incest. Is there incest in Malazan, or is that a spoiler?
I don't think that's a spoiler. Actually, no, I don't think there is
There
much.
is no. Wow, that's
I mean, there
surprising.
might be somewhere, but no super important characters. I'd say
Not bad. Not bad, Erickson.
not bad for Erickson. I mean, did better than Martin.
I don't think there's incest in Conan either. So there you
No, yeah, just semi-consensual
go.
relationships.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much. Yeah.
so tomato, pick your poison, I guess.
Oh, I should note, there is a lot of horn dogging stuff in Fafhrd the Grey Mouser, so
Okay,
so
that's
just
fine.
be prepared for that. They like to
I'm
chase
I'm not I'm
tail.
not a prude or anything. It's just when it gets really into
No,
it.
I'm just saying they like to chase tail, so I'm just warning
Oh,
you in
okay,
case that
okay.
stuff like puts you off.
No, I'll be fine. I'll survive. I can endure. If I can survive Baker, I can survive anything.
Oh man,
But
it's so oh lord, no, I'm just thinking of Elric being all mopey, and I just can't help but snicker at it.
I love my mopey boys though. They're some of the
You
most
know,
fun.
sad boys are good sometimes.
We are all sad boys at one point or another,
That's
or
true.
sad gals.
I'm
So
like,
we
if
can
you
all
don't
relate.
if you don't relate to Elric at least once in your life, you're like, okay, you haven't felt sorry for yourself at either
Yeah,
any point in your life.
yeah. Or you got too big of an ego. I certainly do not. So it's quite easy to be a sad boy.
No,
So
it is kind of it does get a little annoying at times where he goes like,
it does.
oh,
It's like we get it. You're sad. Move on. He's like, no, I can never be happy. Everything goes wrong.
it's
I'm
like
always sad.
I'm like, yeah, you know what you should do? You should probably get rid of that awesome sword you have that like is constantly
But
telling
it's
you to
so
eat.
awesome. It kills bad guys.
It kills the bad guys. Yeah, no, it's just like, oh god. I do think there's some interesting like moral stuff where he's like, should I kind of use this sword to do good? You know, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, no.
Do you remember in the Fortress of the Pearl, I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the story, hold on.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
No, we're all good. I'll
Somebody
probably
came in for a
take that out a
second.
little bit, but
Oh yeah, Fortress of the Pearl, right. There's a part where he decides not to use Stormbringer, and he gets this big giant pearl, and he shoves it down this guy's throat, and that's without the sword. So I'm like, it's okay, Ulrich. You don't got to be so mad. But so he does something kind of evil without the sword. So
fair enough. Well, I do hate to cut this off because I've enjoyed this conversation immensely, but I am getting hungry and I haven't eaten today yet, so I'm probably gonna get off here and but yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I had a lot of
thanks for
fun
having
hanging
me.
out with you. As I like to do before I end these things, if you have any social media, feel free to
Mention him.
yeah talk.
Mainly just my channel. I review books, sometimes comics. Not very good at it. I review, and then I have my Instagram, which I don't know. I post random things there. It's just myself. But if you want to follow that, it's MagnenoAlex 2 because my first account got deleted for
Mm-hmm.
some reason. And that's basically it. I'm kind of everywhere. I'm also on that Fireside Discord thing. I joined that up. So if you follow that from Joanna or any of those people, you can probably find me there at some point. I don't comment too often, but I'm in there. So yeah, basically it.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, and hopefully we'll have more conversations in the future.
Hope so. As long